It's a very good afternoon. Welcome to ZTN News Blitz. Let's take a look at our top stories. We unpack what Zimbabwe's farm compensation means. South Africa envoy yet to be briefed on high-level visit. Harare land audit claims 18 officials. Hopewell Chigono undergoes medical tests. Zimbabwe is refining its land reform program, giving land back to indigents whose farms were acquired for resettlement. Less than 37 farmers are under bilateral investment protection and promotion agreements and bilateral investment treaties. Finance Minister Professor Renewable says some affected farmers could get both land and compensation for improvements.
Those are former farm owners who are indigenous, Zimbabweans, or citizens of countries which had ratified bilateral investment protection and promotion agreements or bilateral investment treaties with Zimbabwe at the time their land was compulsorily acquired for resettlement, are entitled to compensation for both land and improvements.
Professor Ncube says government will grant farmers their applications where circumstances permit restoration of land to them.
Government will grant the applications where the circumstances presently obtaining on the ground permit the restoration of their land to them. In this regard, in order to allow former farm owners in this category to regain possession of the pieces of land that were acquired from them, the government will, in the appropriate circumstances, revoke the offer letters of resettled farmers currently occupying those pieces of land and offer them alternative land elsewhere.
Agriculture Minister Anxious Masuga says the plan is already being implemented. Commercial Farmers Union President Nick Swanepoel said 95% of members were fully behind their compensation agreement with the Zimbabwe government.
Let me put it to you this way. It's taken us 20 years before we've come to this agreement. We have been in negotiations for the last 2 years with government, and I'm happy to say that we've got 95% of the farmers backing us on this compensation side. So it's taken us a long time to get there, and for that I want to thank government and the new dispensation that we finally got to that stage and we can now put it behind us and we can get on with agriculture.
The ongoing Harare City Council audit into the allocation of residential and business lands has claimed the scalps of 18 top officials. According to the latest Housing and Community Services Committee minutes, an investigation which was commissioned last month ended yesterday. The list includes former Mayor Herbert Gomba, ex-Housing Director Matthew Marara, and others who are yet to appear in court. Committee Chairperson Jacob Mafume spoke to ZTN.
The investigations that we're running, the results has been the number of people who have gone to the police. I think now many of the matters are in the hands of the police. So we are waiting for the police to conclude, lest we be accused of interfering with investigations. I don't know, it's over, should be about 20 or so, over 20. Some have been repeat, so it's a bit difficult, but it should be around 18 to 20 people have been affected. There were, I think about 6 councillors were arrested. 6 councillors, including the mayor, remember.
South Africa's ambassador to Zimbabwe, Mpagama Mbete, says he's yet to be briefed on the impending African National Congress visit to Zimbabwe. Yesterday, while addressing the media after an ANC National Executive Council meeting, President Cyril Ramaphosa said some members of the ANC top brass were headed to Zimbabwe. The visit, he says, is a follow-up to the one by his envoys on August 11th. Ambassador Mbete spoke to ZTN's Takuchi Hambakwe.
I also was watching it like you. I'm waiting for formal confirmation with me by my government. So I'm hoping that's going to happen, but I'm waiting for confirmation.
In the courts, journalist and activist Hopewell Chigono has undergone medical tests following reports that he'd fallen ill while in remand prison. Lawyer Douglas Coulthard told journalists that his client was complaining of a raised temperature, headache and chest pains. Coulthard said they are still waiting for results of the medical test. Chigono, who's facing charges of inciting violence, appeared in court today for routine remand and is expected back in court on September 14th.
As you would have seen reported yesterday on examination, Hopewell was exhibiting signs of a raised elevation, and in fact the state admitted in court today that his temperature was raised. He had a fever. He was complaining of a headache and issues to do with taste. So tests have been conducted. And once information is ready to be shared, that information will be made available.
Meanwhile, tobacco farmers in Zimbabwe have revised downwards revenue projections for the 2019 to 2020 tobacco selling season. Tobacco Farmers Association is targeting sales of about 700 million United States dollars, down from 1 billion, which had been projected at the start of the season. The association's spokesperson, Casper Mlambo, told ZTN that this season was characterized by low deliveries of the green leaf.
Obviously, I would have to revise my figures downwards from a mathematical point of view. It translates, from crop down to 185 million. That means the billion that I was actually talking about was actually an earlier estimate. So obviously, that means in terms of what goes into the coffers,
Meanwhile, sales at tobacco auction floors ended on Friday, but trade activity is still ongoing among contract farmers. Tobacco Industry Marketing Board Chief Executive Dr. Andrew Matibiri spoke to ZTN.
There's been, what might say, a qualitative improvement. But in terms of quantity, the amount of tobacco sold up until Friday, the 28th of August, was 177.8 million kilograms. Whereas last year, around the same time, we had sold 232 million kilograms. So there's a 23% reduction, more than a 23% reduction in the volume of tobacco sold. But in terms of revenue, and last year, the tobacco that had been sold.
Authorities in Zimbabwe's second largest city, Bulawayo, have enlisted the services of private players as they battle to alleviate the city's water shortages. Bulawayo is facing one of its worst water shortages in decades, with residents now receiving water only once a week. Council spokesperson Nesi Sampofu said the private players are assisting with additional water bowsers. Council has 6 bowsers against the city's demand of 50 to 60 deliveries per day.
What we are doing is to bowse water, not private players in the treatment of water, but in assisting transporting water, because we've got areas that no longer get water in Bulawayo, high-lying areas.
A Welsh woman has been left with a cone of fat on her bottom after surgery went wrong. Shannon Davies went under the knife in Turkey after seeing online influencers recommend the clinic. The salon owner initially forked out £5,000 for a Brazilian bottom lift, breast uplift and augmentation in 2018, but has since returned twice due to shocking results. Shannon pleaded with the surgeon to remove the excess fat from her bottom, but woke to find she had undergone another BBL. She is now forced to wear size 18 trousers instead of her old size 12. New research suggests that power companies are dragging their feet on green energy sources such as wind and solar. The study found that only 1 in 10 energy suppliers globally has prioritized renewables over fossil fuels. Even those that are spending on greener energy are continuing to invest in carbon-heavy coal and natural gas. The lead researcher says the slow uptake undermines global efforts to tackle climate change. In countries like the UK and across Europe, renewable energy has taken a significant share of the market, with 40% of Britain's electricity coming from wind and solar last year. People who refuse to wear a face mask or comply with social distancing are more likely to have sociopath tendencies, a study has found. Some of the traits commonly found among people who broke COVID-19 safety rules include callousness, deceitfulness, and manipulativeness, which are possible signs of a sociopath. The findings come from a survey of around 1,600 people in Brazil, which has 3.8 million reported COVID-19 cases, the second highest in the world. The researchers said these people in society pose a risk to others, considering they still don't obey rules despite cases and deaths climbing. We move now to sports, where former Zimbabwe national men's football team coach Norman Mapeza has spoken highly of Warriors defender Teenage Khatebe. Mapeza, a former player for Turkish giants Galatasaray, believes the Yeni Malatyaspor player has shown his quality by being named in the Turkish Super League season team of the season.
I think it's a massive achievement, for him to be selected among the best footballers in the Turkish League for the 2019-20 season. It clearly shows how hard he has been working for his club, working as a foreigner and as a Zimbabwean. We should be all proud of his achievements. Turkish League is one of the best leagues in Europe, and I think, like I said, as a Zimbabwean, we should all be proud of his achievements.
In golf, Greg Bentley is the highest-ranked Zimbabwean golfer among entries for the Titleist Championship set for Pretoria Country Club. They tee off tomorrow for a tournament that ends Friday. The championship is now the third tournament on the Sunshine Tour's new Rise Up series and is sponsored to the tune of 600,000 rand. It will be played over 54 holes and forms part of the 5-tournament Rise Up series that signals the restart of the Sunshine Tour's schedule. And that's all from us at ZTN News Blitz. Thanks for watching.